Chapter 32 In Quest of Guru and God. Fasting Disapproved. In this chapter, Hemad Pant describes how Baba met his Guru in the woods and how his Guru disapproved fasting. The author compares the visible world with the Ashwatha banyan tree, which has its roots above and branches below the ground. While the branches are spread in all directions, its roots, like human actions, are extended downwards to the worldly things. Only after cutting these strong roots with a sharp weapon like detachment can one traverse the path towards God. For this, the help of a good guide, Guru, is absolutely essential, however learned or experienced one might be. The Quest. Baba narrates his own experience in the following story. Once, 4 of us, while studying religious scriptures, began discussing the nature of Brahman. The first one of us said we would raise the self all by ourselves and not depend on others, while the second said that he who controls his mind and is free from thoughts and desires can attain Brahman without any help. The third opined that as the visible world is always changing, the formless Nirakar is eternal. Hence, one should discriminate between the unreal and real and move forward. However, the fourth, Baba himself, urged that bookish knowledge alone was worthless. I believed that we should do our prescribed duty and surrender our body, mind, and pancha-pranas, soul, at the Guru's feet, who will thereafter lead us to God, the all-pervading. While discussing thus, all 4 of us began rambling through the woods in quest of God. On the way, we met a trader who questioned us how far and on what quest we were wandering in the woods. We gave him an evasive and ambiguous reply and moved forward. To this, he said, "In these unknown woods, you should always have a guide with you. You need not reveal the secret of your quest, but in this hot sun, I suggest you eat bread, quench your thirst, take rest, and then proceed further." Though he spoke so tenderly, we discarded his words and marched on. As the woods were vast and trackless, they became thicker and we lost our way. We drifted aimlessly for a long time and returned to the place where we had started. The trader met us again and said, "In small matters or big, a guide is always required to show us the right way. Also, do not discard the food offered to you, since offering of food and water should be regarded as auspicious signs of success. No quest can be successful on an empty stomach." Saying this, he again offered food. I, Baba, was moved by this hospitality and, hungry as I was, stayed back and accepted the food offered by the Vanjara trader. As soon as I finished eating, my Guru appeared before us, inquired about everything that had transpired earlier, and asked us to come with him if we trusted him fully. The others did not agree and left, but I bowed to him reverently and followed him. He took me to a well, tied my feet with a rope, and hung me head downwards from a tree near the well, suspended 3 feet above the water level. He went away and returned after 4 to 5 hours, freed me from the bonds, and inquired how I felt. I replied that I had experienced supreme bliss. Pleased with my answer, my Guru drew me close to him, stroked me with love, accepted me as his ward, and admitted me into his school. my Guru became my all in all. I forgot my parents. All attachments were snapped, and I was liberated from worldly pleasures. He was the sole object of my meditation. By His grace, realization dawned upon me all by itself, without effort or study. Among the 4 friends, the first was a karmata, ritualistic, who only knew how to perform or abstain from certain rituals. The second was a jnani, who was puffed up with pride of knowledge. The third, a bhakta, who surrendered himself to God, while the fourth, that is Sai, was discriminate and dispassion incarnate. Sai respected the low Vanjari, trader, by accepting his food, with the firm belief that food is Brahman. He also proved that it was impossible to attain jnana, self-realization, and moksha, liberation, without the grace of a guru. Fasting and Mrs. Gokhale. Baba never fasted, nor did he allow others to do so. He felt that God or the goal of life cannot be attained on an empty stomach. If the stomach is empty and nutrition is not available to the body, how can the eyes visualize God? How can the tongue describe His greatness? And how can the ears hear the same? Only when all organs get their proper nutrition can one practice devotion and other sadhanas to attain God. Therefore, neither fasting nor overeating, but moderation in diet was recommended by Baba. One Mrs. Gokhale came to Shirdi with a resolve to sit at Baba's feet and observe a fast for 3 days. However, Baba instructed her thus: "Where is the necessity of fasting? Go to Dada Bhatt's house, prepare puran polis, sweet rotis, feed his children, and eat them yourself too." It so happened that during the holy festival days, Kelkar's wife was unwell and there was nobody to cook. Baba's advice was so timely that Mrs. Gokhale cooked for Kelkar's family, fed them and herself. Baba always said, "What men may give or share does not last long, but what God gives is eternal. No gift from any man could be compared to that given by God. My treasury is overflowing with spiritual wealth. Dig out and take this wealth in cartloads. He who undertakes any spiritual endeavor will reap its fruit, and he who remembers these words of mine will get invaluable happiness." Om Sri Sai Nathaya. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. End of chapter 32.